Africa has finally decided. After centuries of division, decades of exploitation, and years of hesitation, the continent is taking the boldest step in its modern history. A step so profound that if the great founding fathers, Kwame Nkrumah, Julius Nyerere, Nelson Mandela, Muammar Gaddafi, and Nnamdi Azikiwe could see it today, they would turn in their graves with both astonishment and pride. A step that fulfills the cries of Pan-Africanists like Marcus Garvey and Walter Rodney, who dreamed of a united, powerful Africa. What is it? Africa is embarking on something the world has never seen before. The largest free trade area in history. Bigger than the European Union, EU. Bigger than the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, USMCA. Bigger than the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN. The African Continental Free Trade Area, AfCFTA, brings together all 55 African Union states covering 1.4 billion people with a combined GDP of more than $3.4 trillion. This is not just a trade deal. It is Africa's Renaissance project. The rebirth of a continent long written off, now rising to claim its place in global power. The benefits are staggering. Intra-African trade could increase by 52% by 2035. More than 30 million people could be lifted out of extreme poverty. Africa's e-commerce market could surge to $75 billion annually by 2030. Closing the infrastructure gap, with $150 billion in yearly investment, will connect railways, ports, energy corridors, and digital highways. This is more than economics. It is social justice at scale. Jobs for Africa's youth, empowerment for women who dominate cross-border trade, and a greener, more sustainable economy powered by solar and hydro energy. Right now, Africa faces real obstacles. Inefficient checkpoints and outdated border facilities push costs up by 40%. Customs clearance can take 7 days instead of 2. Broadband penetration is uneven, 80% in North Africa, only 25% in Central Africa. But AfCFTA is tackling this head-on. Digital customs systems are being rolled out, single-window platforms, e-certificates of origin, blockchain-based clearance. Mega corridors like the Abidjan-Lagos Highway and the Pan-African high-speed rail will slash time and costs. These moves will transform Africa's borders from barriers into bridges of opportunity. One of the most revolutionary aspects of AfCFTA is the Digital Trade Protocol. It sets rules for e-commerce integration across 55 countries, digital payments that cross borders seamlessly, data governance to ensure Africa controls its digital destiny. Imagine this. Women traders, once stuck in informal roadside markets, using digital apps to move goods across borders legally, safely, and profitably. Imagine African startups scaling across a $3.4 trillion continental market without barriers. That is the promise of AfCFTA in the digital age. While Donald Trump rallies America with his slogan MEGA, Make America Great Again, Africa is building something far more ambitious. Trump's MEGA is about restoring one nation. AfCFTA is about uniting 55 nations into the world's largest trading bloc. Trump wants to protect U.S. industries. AfCFTA aims to remove tariffs on 90% of goods and create a borderless African market worth trillions. America calls it MEGA. Africa is delivering something unparalleled in human history. Like the European Union, EU, AfCFTA is more than trade. It is a political and economic community in the making. Like the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN, it embraces diversity and focuses on connectivity. Unlike the Southern Common Market, Mercosur, or the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, USMCA, AfCFTA is designed to ensure equitable development, so no nation is left behind. AfCFTA shifts Africa from being a supplier of raw commodities to a strategic bloc that sets the agenda in global trade talks. For the first time, Africa speaks with one voice on the global stage. Yes, the road will be hard. The infrastructure gap is massive. Customs rules still vary. Informal trade accounts for almost half of all intra-African trade. But these challenges are also opportunities. Every checkpoint modernized, every road paved, every digital system launched is a step closer to Africa's renaissance. AfCFTA is the fulfillment of a dream carried by leaders from Kwame Nkrumah to Nelson Mandela. A united Africa, powerful and free. For the youth, it means jobs and digital opportunities. For women, it means recognition and empowerment. For the diaspora, it is a call to return, reconnect, and rebuild. The message is simple but profound. Africa will rise again. This is not poetry, it is policy. It is happening in trade corridors, in digital customs, in solar grids, in smart cities. The African Renaissance is no longer a dream, it is becoming reality. As Trump chants mega in America, Africa is quietly building something greater. The largest free trade area ever created. A $3.4 trillion market of opportunity. The rebirth of a continent once dismissed, now rising to lead. History will remember this moment as the turning point when Africa rose again. Not as a follower, but as a leader. Because this is bigger than mega. This is the African Renaissance. This is Africa unparalleled. If you found this inspiring, subscribe now for more powerful stories about Africa's rise.